guys, mulltiy here. So today let us talk about the first 1-2 weeks, the first 1-2 raids of Season of Discovery. We make a ranking, we make a tier list. So we hop into the data and then we have a look onto everything in the first 2 weeks of the new raid. So this was kind of my prediction for this phase. We got something right, we got something wrong. This is the data, as you can see, for the first 2 weeks of the raid, or the first 2 raids. It's not 2 complete weeks at the moment. So yeah, when you look into this, we definitely got here a difference from what I predicted. So let us work onto this. Let us make this here a little bit small, and let us make this here a little bit small as well. So as you can see, we have still a mage on the bottom, but it's now Arcane Mage, so the help that Frost Mage received was definitely quite good, quite okay. As you can see here, we have now a very wide range of specs that are nearly doing the same damage. If you go down till DPS Priest, it could even say that all of these specs are very close to each other, but we have here 4 very big outliers, because as you can see, the difference from Frost Mage to Enhancement Shaman is quite bigger than the difference from Frost Mage to DPS Priest. Or is it the same? It's around the same, sorry, it's not quite bigger, but it's around the same. So just one step from I don't know, 8 steps or whatever, as you can see. So what is changed? Arcane Mage is slowed down, got 0 health, boss fights taking longer. That's definitely not good for Arcane Mage at that moment. Then I don't know if we still have a C tier. I would say no, we don't have a C tier at the moment. We start then directly with the B tier. We have the B tier starting with the DPS Priest. As you can see, the rise and fall. Thinking about the first 2 weeks, if I'm not wrong, on the phase 2, they were first, or I think second place after Melee Hunter. Now they are second last of all the specs. So that's not cool for them, I guess. But okay, balance. So, but let me say, if we don't only have a B tier, I predicted that kind of well, or we predicted it kind of well. Then we have the balance through it. We had it in B tier already, so it's now here as well. And then we have the Elemental Shaman, which sees a big drop, a very big drop. I think got not a lot of help into P3. Got the fights are taking longer, or even much longer. So that's not a help at all. I think that will change now during the phase, but at that moment it looks like this. And then we have this, do we call this all A tier? I think we have to do it, because this is definitely the S tier, I would say. So we have here the A tier starting with WOTLK, which I also predicted higher. I predicted it S tier at the end of the S tier. Now let me say it's at the end of the A tier, but yeah, as you can see, like I said, the difference here between those specs is so small. Then we have the Fire Mage, which I'm definitely wondering about, maybe the most of all these things. I did not expect that hard drop from first place or second place to yeah, like 6, 7, 8 place or whatever. That's definitely for me not very usual. Now that the B tier is kind of the old B tier was the C tier, so it's fine that Feral Druid is in the middle of the pack, is a good DPS, not more not less. Same is here for Paladin, good spec, not more not less. And then followed by the Range Hunter. Range Hunter, some people predicted it higher. I had it in my old B tier, so that's fine now that is in this A tier, I would say. And then we have the Frost Mage, which is for me also something very crazy. I did not expect that Frost Mage can go from this spot that Arcane Mage has now to the best of the rest. That's quite stunning, to be honest. We will see how this continues over all the phase. But we can just say now Frost Mage is a fine, is a good doing DPS. And then we have the 4 top DPS specs right now. Like I said, Melee Hunter, I was already predicting that very high. Same with Warrior. Rogue, I had it on the top end of A tier, but is even better, is even a little bit ahead of Warrior. But I'm 100% sure that Warrior will going ahead of Rogue during this tier, during this phase. And then the last one of the very good specs is Enhancement Shaman, but you also can see that here is the differences are so small. The only bigger difference is Melee Hunter. So if you want to you could put Melee Hunter into the S plus tier. Is definitely the best spec right now, followed by these 3. As you also can see, only melee specs, so the best 4 specs are only melee specs, and then the next melee specs that we have is just Retribution Paladin and Feral Druid. So these are definitely at the moment the best specs, and then we have the big range of the caster, DPS specs and everything. Winner of the tier at that moment, I would clearly say Frost Mage, and maybe Rogue. They made a good amount of steps ahead of everything, and I think the losers of this phase so far are Elemental Shaman definitely, and I also think Fire Mage, maybe also Warlock, the DPS Warlock. Yeah, I think for Fire Mage, Warlock, and Elemental Shaman. So let me say the top 3 caster DPS lost the biggest amount of they did not lose DPS, don't get me wrong, but the other gained much more. So we have only one spec that seems right now is not really playable. So send help. If Arcane Mage could be around this area the same, that would be fine. And then this 4 getting a little bit in shape, but to be honest, I don't think they will do here a lot to bring that in shape. So that is just how it looks at the moment, which is quite dangerous going forward into the game, because we all know how Rogue and Warrior, how strong they will be at the end game. Melee Hunter seems like to being in the pack with them, and Enhancement Shaman is also following this, so could be a quite interesting level 60 phase or end game then, when already the melee is looking that strong right now. So yeah, let's see how this will go. What I don't like is the big differences of a Melee Hunter to Arcane Mage. It's literally more than a double. So yeah, it makes no sense at the moment to bring an Arcane Mage. If you want to stack your stack raid specs, it would be those four specs that you stack. They are very strong. These ones are doing fine, don't get me wrong. Never a problem to have a Shadow Priest, never a problem to have a DPS Warlock. Also no problem to have 2 of them in your raid, don't get me wrong. They are all doing fine here, but they doing much better, and Arcane Mage is just bad. That's it for this week, guys. Have a good one. See you. Bye bye.